Game 2 of the Columbia Super Regional, a must-win for UCLA, a win for South Carolina, and they are on to Oklahoma City for the first time since 1997. In the circle, we haven't seen her this weekend, Taylor Tinsley, the most veteran pitcher that UCLA has.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Most veteran and most needed in this type of a situation. I think for her to be able to go in, she's going to set the tone for how this is going to go down. And the first inning is always the most important. She can go upstairs, has that rise ball, can go side to side with that curveball. But to me, the difference maker is that changeup, right? When she can change speeds, she is tough to hit. But when she's not in command of that pitch, you can see teams finding a way to get on time a little bit, so it's going to be a huge piece.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup for South Carolina, brought to you by Capital One. South Carolina, the visitor today. They were the home team yesterday, and Lexi Winters, she had her 6th home run of the season, a 2-run blast in the first inning.
Good timing. That got the fans going. You could tell just almost like a big deep breath from everyone on South Carolina when she hit that bad boy out of here.
And Taylor Tinsley delivers the first pitch for Quincy Lilio, the transfer from Oklahoma. And I don't think it was a surprise, having not seen Tinsley yesterday. I think you could assume, having looked at their traditionally how they've done it this year, that we were going to see Tinsley today.
For sure. It just didn't make any sense in what the score was yesterday to bring her in, right? Like, knowing that if UCLA wants to get out, they got to win 2 more games. You want to keep her fresh.
It was the combo of Taylor Tinsley and Caitlin Terry that got UCLA to the World Series last year. Lilio finds some open ground to roll it out to the gap. First hit, first batter. What did you like most about South Carolina's approach at the plate yesterday?
Gosh, they didn't have these big aggressive swings, but honestly, they saw so many pitches. That was the difference. These 7, 8, 9 pitch ABs that tend to wear a pitcher down, and that becomes annoying. And at times, the pitcher will fall victim to that. And I think you saw that with Caitlin Terry, who started for UCLA, having to throw a lot of pitches right out of the gate, and they were able to find a way to execute.
Carly Shelton at the plate now. She was one of 4 Gamecocks with multiple hits yesterday. She went 2 for 4 with a run scored.
But that was what Coach Kelly Inouye Perez said before this game started. I'm like, what's the plan for Tinsley? Anything specific from yesterday to today? And so we can't fall behind in counts. We have to be able to attack.
South Carolina saw 129 pitches yesterday.
And a quick 3-0 from Taylor Tinsley.
Pitch walk. A single and a walk have put 2 on to start this game for South Carolina.
And a unique battery connection with these 2. You don't tend to see a lot of catchers call games, but lefty behind the dish calls for Taylor Tinsley. They call their own game.
This is Ariana Rhodey stepping in, and she's their single-season all-time home run leader, single-season record for walks. Rhodey pops up. Savannah Pola calling everybody up, grabs it in foul territory. Lilio diving to third. Both runners move to scoring position. Still a productive at bat. Move those runners.
Almost put it in my book as a sacrifice.
Yeah. And now you see Taylor Tinsley and Alexis Ramirez, they call her lefty. And you mentioned it, they call their own game. So we talked before this game to their head coach, Kelly Inouye Perez. They had gone over some more things, some tweaks they wanted to make against this lineup today.
And being able to go and have that conversation about winners and, you know, her 2-run shot yesterday. And Just be able to kind of be on the same page, fine-tune a couple things, maybe get a giggle in the mix. I don't know.
Did you need a giggle in the circle?
I need it when there felt a little pressure. Giggle always helps. And a tight strike zone.
Lexi Winters grew up a South Carolina fan. Went to Charlotte first. Was there for a couple of seasons, the everyday starting catcher last year, and now she's taken on that role here at South Carolina. Following her head coach, up the middle, she bounces one. Lelio scores. South Carolina striking first. Something about Lexi Winters and supers.
Yeah. And this is just keeping it short and simple. Right back up the middle. Pitch a little bit on the hands. Maybe a smidge of a jam job, but strong enough to be able to get that right back up the middle and get that first run. South Carolina in the first inning.
And now Ella Chansey, the third baseman. Oh for 2 yesterday was Chansey.
Good pitch by Taylor Tinsley. That curveball on the outside part of the plate. That's an important piece to her arsenal as well. When she's able to locate that, have that rise ball as well as that changeup.
Chansey hanging in there. When South Carolina scores in the first inning, 22-3. That includes a win yesterday. Ashley Chastain Woodard's taken over this program, taken over her alma mater, and got them to a super regional, just their third super in program history. Got their first ever win in this round yesterday.
And that first inning is about testing your limits with the battery. What pitches can you get? How far can you get off? 0-2, how much wiggle? Because with this South Carolina team and the way they're swinging it, you got to be careful. 0-2. It's a good spot by Taylor Tinsley at that count.
Kanaya Bragg goes to first. It does bump the runner over to second. Shelton at third, Winters at second. And Taylor Tinsley just allowed one runner fewer in 7 appearances. She's already got one up on the board right now. Brooke Blankenship on a 5-game hit streak. Two for 4 yesterday with an RBI double. Hit 500 in the regional last weekend. In South Carolina yesterday, I was impressed with their 2-out hitting. They were 6 for 12 with 2 outs.
That's dangerous. It means that they're just unfazed. It's a team that can work deep into counts. They're patient. They will take their walks.
Tinsley ahead 0-2.
Good spot. And everything's about trying to get a leg up on a hitter, right? Like, that may not be a pitch you necessarily want called for a strike at 0-2 because that makes it too close. But now you at least know you're in the hitter's dome. You can expand the zone. Now that kind of gives you the go-ahead to go up and in, or with your changeup down in the zone.
Right to Savannah Pola at second. Carolina leaves 2 on, but the Gamecocks jump ahead. An RBI single from Lexi Winters. South Carolina up 1-0. They're 1 win away from the Women's College World Series. And in the circle, they send their 6th-year player, Sam Gress, who we saw enter in relief yesterday. That was the plan.
And Sam Gress is that 6th year. She is the experienced one on staff. The ball is being put in her hand in a big game. has a good mix of pitches, really tends to favor that arm side, which means that screwball, that rise ball in on the righties, away from the lefties. She's the captain of this team. The team is going to go as she goes. You saw her lay out for a ball yesterday where it's just everyone was so pumped.
We'll take a look at the starting lineups for UCLA, brought to you by Capital One. And Savannah Pola in the 2 spot. She's got a hit in 9 of her last 10 games. But this is a UCLA lineup that their head coach, Kelly Inouye Perez, really honest with them after the game. She said, look, I don't know what you're feeling right now, but South Carolina just played their A game, and we played our C game. And we're going to turn around and make the adjustments and come back out today. We still can win 2 games. Jessica Clements leads off. Having watched UCLA last weekend, we got to see them firsthand in the regionals. Did not look like the same team we saw yesterday.
No, they did not. 3 run rule victories last weekend. Maybe not as much pressure on the offensive side as they probably felt yesterday. Different environment when you're going away for a super. What is it, first time since 2016 that this team has been on the road for a super? There's definitely a difference, but this is a battle-tested Big Ten UCLA team. I mean, the grind is real and the travel that they had to endure.
Kelly I told us before this game that she feels like this group is very well tested. So she was confident that she would see the adjustment today from her team. They have no choice. Their season's on the line.
Just going to say that.
It's do it now or go home. Clements to left. Emily Vinson has it. And an advantage that UCLA has is that watching South Carolina this season, you know that Gress and Hurd are their 2 arms, and they saw both of them yesterday.
And you know they went and did their homework to figure out adjustments they needed to make. It's not that they necessarily couldn't put barrel on ball. That wasn't it. There were moments when they needed to step up. And I mean, I know you can't put the weight of the world on 2 players, but listen, when you get to this point in the season, and there was a big inning with the back-to-back base hits when you had Jordan Woolery coming up and Megan Grant. And the 6-year Sam Gress was able to strike those 2 out back-to-back. That's a statement, right? That's, as a program, you're like, all right, we got the 2 kind of hottest hitters in our lineup coming up with pressure on, and they weren't able to execute. But that's part of the game. That's the postseason.
The first time all season they had struck out back-to-back.
And not everyone is always going to be able to. Hitting is hard. Just so we are all aware that there are going to be times where pitchers beat you. You just hope that it's not in big situations like that. But you need to tip your cap and know that you're going to get another opportunity.
Gress goes up ahead, 1-2 on Savannah Pola. Well, a Game 3 in Gainesville. Well, we have a Game 3 here in Columbia, South Carolina. Courtney Lyle and Danielle Laurie with you as the Gamecocks, who won Game 1, their first super regional win in program history, are already up 1-0 thanks to an RBI single from Lexi Winters. So now Savannah Pola at the plate facing Sam Gress, who got the start today, the 6th-year veteran. Pola to center, and she's retired. 2 down. And a UCLA team who run-ruled every opponent they faced last weekend at the regionals looked a lot different yesterday, Danielle.
Yeah, different vibes, man. The super regional or regional last weekend for UCLA looked a lot different than South Carolina's. So there is a little bit more of a pressure going into a super on the road with UCLA having run-ruled back-to-back-to-back. More pressure they probably feel with being in this stadium, this crowd.
Jordan Woolery, first pitch. And that is out number 3. 3 up, 3 down, and South Carolina leads 1-0 after an inning. Well, they sold out tickets for this Super Regional in 8 minutes. Had to stand in line to get the best seat. And yesterday, game one, let's take you back. South Carolina comes out. They've never won a Super Regional game, and they said, wait a minute, Lexi Winters, 2-run shot in the first inning. After 2 innings, they were up 5-0.
And I had the stadium absolutely rocking, and the pitcher's throwing well because of it. We know the pressure taken off as a pitcher when your team is able to get you some runs. A big moment for Sam Gress coming in to strike out Jordan Woolery and Megan Grant back-to-back. Laying it all out there. I mean, I felt the energy from the crowd when she laid out for this. It was loud. It was intense.
Yeah, it was the most runs that UCLA has allowed in the tournament since the 2022 Women's College World Series. And now South Carolina, 1 win away from their 4th appearance at the Women's College World Series, to be the first since 1997. UCLA, they have to win this game in order to extend the season. And Taylor Tinsley gets the start today. First pitch coming into Abigail Knight, hits her. UCLA is trying to force its 6th Super Regional Game 3 in program history with a win today. They have never been swept in Super Regionals. And it wasn't really a surprise that we saw Taylor Tinsley get the start today for UCLA. Didn't see her yesterday. We saw their other 2 main pitchers, and so no-brainer that you were going to see her start.
Well, and 3 pitchers on staff with over 100 innings pitched. I think that goes to show that they are battle-tested in the sense where you can put anyone out there. Addison Fisher, the freshman through the Big Ten championship game, got some good experience there.
Sellers. Oh, Grant scooped it up off the dirt. Double play. Crashing in from the corner.
Yeah, this is too easy. If you're Knight, you got to know that ball bounced at times. I know that's hard. First base coach should be yelling and screaming for them to get back. But a quick 2 outs for UCLA.
Just the 11th double play this season, compared to a South Carolina team who's turned 28 on the year. Both of these teams really good defensively, top 10 in the nation in fielding percentage. And Megan Grant, somebody that had to move over to first base because they had some injuries in the infield, lost their freshman shortstop and then second base, so they had to shuffle people around starting March 1st. Kanaya Bragg has taken over that shortstop position. She's also a true freshman. This is Emily Vinson in the 9 spot. Pop up. Savannah Pola wants it. No. Caitlin Terry tried to get it in foul territory.
Well, you heard the communication of room down the line, but no communication between Caitlin Terry and Savannah Pola. I got to give that to Savannah Pola all day, and she must have heard Terry on the side and just said, hey, I hear her. She's got her momentum coming forward, but with how big of a run it was, I think that's Pola's ball.
So now it's a 1-2 to Vincent. Yeah, if they would have caught that, it would have been a 6-pitch inning for Taylor Tinsley. Taylor Tinsley and her catcher, Alexis Ramirez, they call her Lefty. They call their own game. Kelly I is usually the pitch caller, except when this is the battery for UCLA.
Yeah, I love it. As much as I want to say I wish that happened more in our game, I know it's almost feels completely eliminated, but I just love that connection of the pitcher-catcher and communication and importance of that piece in your success in the circle. I know there's so many things out there for hitters and data and scouting, but I do think there's something to be said about, like, in the moment, the feel. What do I feel in my gut? What does my catcher feel? What does she see of the movements of the hitter in the box? Where are her hands? There's so many things sometimes that you can't see from the dugout, but you need to commit to as a pitcher and as a catcher of, like, this seems like the best option based on what they're doing in the box.
And it was fun to talk to them about their preparation. A couple of days ago before the Super Regional started, we got to sit down with Lefty and Taylor Tinsley, and they start by scouting with Coach Kelly Inouye Perez, and then they go through their own game plan of, what are we going to do against this hitter first, second, maybe third time through the lineup.
I think sometimes when you go over scouting reports, when you see a hitter's strength, sometimes it's like, oh man, that means that I can't really kind of go in there. That's what they do well. Well, it's more so about like being able to pitch backwards in situations, to be able to set them up with a good pitch in a good spot. You can beat a hitter in their strength.
8th pitch coming to Vincent. Got her. First strikeout today for Taylor Tinsley and lefty Ramirez working together.
Well, double play to me is key. Use the momentum. Megan Grant stepping up big. Quick double. Bruins got to take it to the bats.
Here in Columbia, South Carolina, we've got game 2 of our series. And some other things happening today. I mean, I love all of our Super Regionals matchups. Oklahoma picked up its 10th shutout win in Super Regionals. That's the second most Super Regional shutouts in NCAA tournament history. They're going to play Alabama coming up next. And then that Tennessee-Nebraska series, man.
Yeah.
So Jordy Ball's really good.
That whole team right now is feeling it. She's obviously swinging it well, pitching well. Tennessee made a costly error. Like those little things in the postseason come to hurt you. And then that Liberty-Oregon game goes to extras.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
On the East Coast. Megan Grant leading off here for UCLA. She is part of that 1-2 punch that are known as the Bruin Bombers. Jordan Woolery and Megan Grant, they hit at the 3 and 4 spots in the lineup. They've combined for more RBIs than any other duo in UCLA history, which is incredible thinking about all the players that have come through Westwood.
And both of them together, I think, too, with those extreme numbers, especially after who they lost last year. Think about Charlize Palacios behind the plate, and then Maya Brady and what she was able to do, and they have both stepped up in tremendous ways.
But yesterday they combined to go 1 for 7, and Kelly, I talked to them after yesterday's loss, just reminding them who they are. Step in there, be yourself, do what you've been doing all season.
It happens, though, sometimes, right? Like, sometimes a pitcher can get you in a big situation, and you have to be able to tip your cap. I know they seem superhuman, but it is a game of failure at times, and their numbers are video game-like. So when they aren't able to step up in those big situations, everyone's like, oh, my God, what's wrong with them? Well, it's at times part of the game. You hope that they can in the biggest moments, but sometimes a pitcher can get a hitter out. Which is hard in a hitter's game. It's so much more hitter's game on every single level than it ever has been. It's tough to be a pitcher, especially a strikeout pitcher. ERAs are inflated, home runs are up, power's up. There's so much available to the hitters to scout and do their homework on the pitchers.
Megan Grant finding a way. Reached for it, and it was enough. Her second hit of the Supers.
And that's a really, really good at-bat by Megan Grant. She fouled off a ton of pitches. Looks silly on the first changeup, but then you can tell she's able to sit and wait. So strong through her backside. Just whomp right through. Good lengthy at-bat for her.
Now Riley Slimp, the true freshman left fielder, follows her. And this is a UCLA lineup, I mean an offense that's been tops in the nation in so many different categories. Top 10 in average, 3rd in runs scored this season. Just looked a little shell-shocked yesterday. And their head coach talked to him about that. Said, look, I know a lot of you guys after this game are feeling a lot of different things, but South Carolina played its A game, we played our C game, and now we have no choice. We still have a chance to win too. 2 balls and a strike to Riley Slimp.
It's a good pitch. And that pitch on the outside part of the plate is important, obviously, to establish in on the lefties, but against those righties, she tends to always kind of have that arm side run, meaning her pitching arm, everything tends to favor a little bit more on that side. So that pitch away to righties and into lefties was going to be a key piece in the success today, obviously with her changeup, but that pitch not bleeding back over the heart of the plate, staying true away to those right-handed hitters to establish the outside edge and also to establish the in on the lefties. They're crowding the dish, knowing she tends to go away with their screwball and her rise ball. You want to own the in.
Slimp lifts it to center. Quincy Lelio has it. Megan Grant holding at first.
And there really is a vast difference in the game plan for the lefties and the righties, because those right-handed hitters know that she's almost giving you the Megan Legenfeld effect. And for those true Bruin fans that are watching, Megan Legenfeld was a pitcher for UCLA. They won the national championship in 2010. I mean, girlfriend could throw 100 screwballs in a row, and you knew it. And some of you still couldn't hit it, myself included. So as a right-handed hitter, it's having that awareness. Okay, do I need to move back in the box, more so the backs of my feet towards the other side to be able to open up and clear the inner half so I have enough kind of ability to turn on that pitch that's going to run in on my hands? And for the lefties, can I toe the line enough and crowd the plate enough to be able to barrel something up with the mentality to hit it to left field or through the 5-6 hole?
You can see where Lefty Ramirez is in the box.
Yeah, off the plate a little bit. But Megan Legenfeld was one of the GOATs for UCLA. Remember that national championship run in 2010 and how good she was. She was really kind of one of the only pitchers on that Bruin team, too, through every game.
UCLA has a lot of GOATs.
I know.
A GOAT farm. Speaking of GOATs, Lisa Fernandez working with the hitters this year. She did okay as a player. Much better ABs today, don't you think, for UCLA?
I do, I agree. Yeah, one of the first original GOATs. I've ever seen one. I remember watching Lisa Fernandez play at Canada Cup in Canada as a young child, and I was like, dang, I want to be like that. Like, she kind of inspired me to want to be that pitcher, seeing her perform and just be this. She had this like alter ego about herself. Like, she crossed those lines, man. There's not a competitor. I mean, you should probably destroy her mother if her mom was in the box. Like, that's just how competitive she is. But you got to be to win at this level.
Yeah.
You have to be cutthroat.
And this season, historically, she's mostly worked with the pitching. And this season, Kelly I asked her to move and work with the hitters. And numbers are up across the board.
Yep.
Obviously, she did both very well.
Love me a good two-way player.
UCLA has the go-ahead run at first with the freshman shortstop, Kanaya Bragg, up only 1 out. A must-win game for the Bruins. And a first pitch strike from Sam Gress after the visit out to the circle by her head coach, Ashley Chastain Woodard. Woodard and Zach Parsons are the pitch callers for South Carolina.
I like that spot. I always want a little extra. Just give me half an inch.
Sure, Ashley and Zach would take that too.
Yeah. A lot of pitchers would.
Chastain Woodard, of course, was a pitcher here at South Carolina. Had success at Charlotte and then got the call to move 90 minutes down the road to coach her alma mater. You could pick that one up on the first ring, I think. Ball and 2 strikes to Kanaya Bragg. Bragg gets jammed. Brooke Blankenship scoops it for out number 2.
Well, and that's just such a win, right? Like, that's owning the inner half and getting her to do exactly what you want with it. If she's not going to strike out, you want her to pop up something in the infield. Just goes to show kind of how nasty that spin is on the hands. Definitely can make you uncomfortable as a hitter.
A go-ahead run at first still for the freshman Sophia Mujica. And takes a cut at that first ball.
A mommy hack right out of the gate. Had a ribby yesterday. 2 for 3, had a good day.
She was the catcher yesterday, now in the DP spot today.
That's a good hold, and that's a good spot. We have not seen Sam Gress go outside to those right-handed hitters yet. Everything has been in. You're seeing the back of the heels, close to the chalk line, the batter's box. And eventually adjustments will be made on one way or the other, right? Like UCLA is going to be able to turn on something, or Sam Gress eventually is going to say, hey, I got to start establishing a way to make you feel the inside a little hotter. When you're able to locate on the outside part of the plate, even though it may not be your favorite, then you're just in the back of the head of the hitter is a little bit.
Mujica hanging in there. Sophia Mujica played with the Team USA U18 World Cup team over the summer with Addison Fisher, who was the top recruit in this year's class. She's a freshman pitcher now at UCLA. Yesterday it was South Carolina seeing a lot of pitches. Now UCLA seeing a lot of pitches today.
That's what it's going to come down to. You have to have that battle mentality. You try to see a lot of pitches. At times you'll get swings and misses for Sam Gress, no doubt about that, but wouldn't be surprised she tries to sneak a little change piece in here. And that's that pitch on the outside part of the plate. Misses a little bit, but just kind of changes up the eyes of seeing something away, body looking away, making her work.
This will be the 7th pitch to Sophia Mujica.
Dirty.
Got her to swing. Sam Gress has her first strikeout of the day, and UCLA leaves 2 runners on. Gamecocks lead by 1. Well, for South Carolina, this has been a wild season in their first year under Ashley Chastain Woodard, who was hired in June to come back and coach her alma mater. She was the head coach at Charlotte, about 90 minutes away, added 15 new players, brought 6 players with her from Charlotte. They were picked to finish last in the SEC and said, look, we're not worried about that, not listening to anybody else. Watch us work. Started out 20-0, best start in program history, and that's when they began to build belief within themselves that they could have success this year. And here they are hosting a super regional and just picked up their first ever Supers win yesterday.
Well, and the goal was to finish middle of the pack for SEC, because if you're able to do that, you're able to get some really big wins. That puts you in a position to potentially host a regional. And she said when you get to host a regional, there's a good chance you make it out of your own regional. And with the start that they had and some of the wins they had, I remember tuning in. I was so excited for when they went to Duke and played Duke, and they had that 3-game set, and both teams were undefeated, and it was just incredible to see them go in and just be like, good morning, good afternoon, good night. We'll see you later. We're going to take the 3.
Impressive. And a team that finished the regular season with the 4th best strength of schedule in the nation. Coming into the weekend, 17 wins against top 25 in the RPI. That's 3rd in the nation. And of course, that happens when you play in the SEC when, 14 of the 15 teams make the tournament.
And just kind of look at the gauntlet of what the SEC is. So, like, getting to play those teams, they went to Oklahoma and got swept at Oklahoma, and they felt that. And I think them being able to come back and bounce back from what it was like to play there, and we're still undefeated.
Quincy Lelio is retired by Riley Slimp.
They went to Oklahoma and lost those 3 games, came back home and ended up losing to a hot Coastal Carolina team. And then from then on, they made just a vast difference and a change, and really kind of went hard and hit SEC hard. And a lot of big top 25 wins, went 13-11 in SEC play. And
6 series wins against top 20 opponents this season for South Carolina. So you knew coming into the tournament they were going to be well tested, and a pretty balanced team. Makes them dangerous. They had a pitching staff. I don't know if you can go through this tournament with just one arm.
Oh, unless you're Texas Tech.
Oh yeah, it's a $1 million arm right there.
But
that was incredible, right, to watch. I mean, Nyjah Kennedy threw every pitch.
She has, and she's the difference maker. But I've loved watching their offense since the Big 12 tournament, have her back.
Carly Shelton into foul territory. Bruins can't get there.
But punching their first ticket, shoot, I saw Patrick Mahomes watching softball doing like some commercial or something yesterday.
That was
I was
so
like,
cool.
You and I were going to dinner. I was like, I feel like you need to kind of look at this, because this is cool. Like, we went to Texas Tech, and seeing someone like Nyjah Kennedy and wanting to tune in, seeing them punch their ticket to their first Women's College World Series ever.
Carly Shelton trying right field. South Carolina hasn't been to the Women's College World Series since 1997. UCLA has been there 32 times. Every time I say that, that number still amazes me. They've won 12 NCAA titles. Strikeout number 2 for Taylor Tinsley. Well, the Women's College World Series, speaking of which, returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday. Yep, that's right. This Thursday at noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more information on the 2025 Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships.
You can just see the pace that Taylor Tinsley is throwing at, and the command of her pitches right now settling in rather nicely. Spreading the zone. She's working that curveball well.
Facing Ariana Rhodey, who's on a 4-game hit streak. She's their RBI and home run leader. At one point, she had reached base in 37 straight games, second longest in South Carolina history. She also hit 5 home runs over 5 games. That one hops up away from Woolery, and Rhodey is able to reach first.
This is a hot shot down the line at Jordan Woolery.
Waiting on the official word of how they'll score that. But Rhodey is aboard for Lexi Winters. Who has thrived, I would say, in Super Regionals. 3 RBI yesterday, has an RBI today.
Swinging it well, seeing it well.
And a key piece. That's going to be a hit, by the way, for Ariana Rhodey.
And I feel like the postseason, too, is always so fun because you get to see who becomes hot at the right time. And, you know, winners put up great numbers all year long, but to be able to go into a super regional and yesterday have that 2-run home run, which just kind of got the crowd and everyone going. Like, those are the little moments, the postseason, that make it special.
And her story just special. Went to Charlotte. And then when Coach Chastain Woodard got the job, she called Lexi and asked her to come with her. Lexi was crying and laughing. Her parents had no idea what was happening. It was like a dream come true because she grew up a South Carolina fan, was actually the bat girl for the Gamecocks. And one of her favorite players was Carrie Lyons, who was a catcher on that 97 World Series team. And Carrie told her, now you're at the same home plate that I used to be catching from. And look at baby Lexi on the right.
This is so cool.
First of all, Cocky just looks great. Hasn't changed.
I haven't seen him make an appearance yet, but those are always like the feel-good stories, though, when you have those athletes that have always been a fan of the program that get the opportunity to wear that jersey across their chest. There's just a different love when you get to do that, especially when you've grown up as a kid, whether you went to camps or go to different sporting events. It's almost sad you only get 4 years.
Well, some get 7.
True. Or 6. I think I actually have a year left.
Oh, well, your phone's about to start ringing.
Make a comeback.
Taylor Tinsley fired up. 2 strikeouts in this inning. UCLA bats coming back.
Oh gosh, to be honest, there's nothing really like it. You just feel fortunate to be a part of something like that because you know how hard it is to get to Oklahoma City. It's special to be a part of that, and once you get there, then I feel like the work really begins.
Now, UCLA has been there 32 times. They've won 12 NCAA championships, the last coming in 2019. Of course, the story is Oklahoma, can they 5-peat? They've won the last 4.
Yeah.
A win today over Alabama puts them back in Oklahoma City. It'll be 9-1-2, due up for UCLA, starting with Caitlin Terry. A player that in her sophomore season has expanded her role. Her and Taylor Tinsley carried the load in the circle last year. This year, she said, I'm going to hit, I'm going to play right field, I'm going to pitch. She has been able to do it all.
Yeah, just 3 at-bats in 2024. There was really only Taylor Tinsley and Caitlin Terry in the circle last year, and Taylor Tinsley was down for quite a while, so it was just KT having to throw 3-game series. So hitting, I think, was probably not up for grabs.
Laying down the bunt, Ella Chansey crashing in on it, and that retires Terry.
It's going to be interesting to see the second time through here for UCLA and adjustments that they make off of Sam Gress, whether or not they kind of change up a little bit more, how the lefties are going to adjust to those pitches on the outer half. I always love the second time through the lineup.
Jessica Clements. First pitch hops over to Ariana Rhodey. Oh, quickly 2 down.
Those are like secret victories as a pitcher, just so you know. When I did that, I was just beaming inside, like, let's go. 1 pitch.
Not a secret anymore, geez.
Well, you got to let everyone know what she's thinking out there. But first pitch change up when you get a hitter to swing and get a quick 2 out. Fire me up.
Savannah Pola. First pitch, gone. That is a 4-pitch inning. No secret, Sam Gress loved that. We will talk to Ashley Chastain Woodard, her head coach, when we come back to Columbia. Top of the 4th inning, and South Carolina up in Game 2, 1-0 over UCLA. We're joined by the Gamecock head coach, Ashley Chastain Woodard, and Coach Sam Gress, a 4-pitch inning. What was your conversation with her getting the start today?
Yeah, we're just trying to treat it like any other game, and honestly, as hard as that is, right now with so much on the line, I'm just trying to keep her in a good place and, just allow me to think for her and her just to execute. So we're just trying to keep her in a good place in the dugout inning to inning, and, a 4-pitch inning gives you a lot of momentum going into offense, so hopefully it pays off for us here.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, Coach. Adjustments the second time through the lineup here fully against Taylor Tinsley.
Yeah, we got to keep seeing the ball down. She has a lot of rise and a lot of change, and so we can't let her expand with the rise out of the zone and then, pick a speed. So we just keep telling the team to see the ball down, keep it at the belt, and that's where we're going to attack the ball.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Ashley Chastain Woodard in her first season leading South Carolina, and there's some history when it comes to first-year head coaches reaching the Women's College World Series. This is in the super regional era. 2 have done it, Caitlin Lowe and Beth Torina, in their first seasons took their programs to the Women's College World Series. Ashley Chastain Woodard trying to make this graphic a little bigger.
Yeah, I remember that 2022. You and I had the Tennessee Regional. Morgan State ended up going. I remember Caitlin Lowe, played with Caitlin Lowe.
Chancey retired.
That's hard to do, to take over a program and punch your ticket to OKC.
Well, Taylor Tinsley struck out 2 in the last inning. How do you think her and Alexis Ramirez have settled into calling this game, that battery?
Really settled in, especially against those right-handed hitters.
Blankenship first pitch rolls to Bragg.
I think she's done a really good job of changing speeds, which you saw on that last pitch, but it's being able to kind of get that outside part of the plate to the righties. You're getting some by-you curveball strike out pitches that have been huge to see. 2 strikeouts in the top of the 3rd, and so far a quick 2 outs here, top 4.
Abigail Knight pulls back. Taylor Tinsley in front of friends and family. She's from about 2 hours away. You see her parents right there in the stands, Keith and Denise. She's got about 20 friends and family here in Columbia that drove over from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Yeah, she said to all her teammates, "You don't mind if I use your passes?"
Yeah.
We got the whole crew coming in.
Didn't mind the cross-country flight. Is it different playing in front of friends and family in college?
It's the best.
I remember your dad and your parents watching, right?
Yeah. You definitely notice when they're not there if you're used to having them, but it's pretty special. They're the ones that are always in the stands as a little kid watching you play and taking you to and from. So you kind of sometimes even feel like maybe you can amp it up a little bit, which is a cool opportunity for Taylor Tinsley, getting this ball game knowing backs up against the wall. Y'all lose, you're done, right? And so she's kind of saying, hey, get on my back, and I'm going to set the tone, and she has a pretty cool audience to watch her.
It's going to be a full count here to Abigail Knight. Tinsley retired the first 2 batters in this inning on 2 pitches.
But I think really the biggest difference that I've seen from Taylor Tinsley today is just pitches on the corners, right? We're not missing over the heart of the plate, and that at times is the difference. When you get into the postseason, you miss, you pay, and she's done a good job of establishing corners and being able to go back to those spots, knowing she's getting those calls behind the plate, she's getting those foul balls.
7th pitch, Knight sends it to right. Caitlin Terry calls it. 3 up 3 down. And we'll talk to UCLA head coach Kelly Inouye-Perez when we come back to Columbia. Game 2 of the series, South Carolina and UCLA. Gamecocks up 1-0, and we're talking to the head Bruin, Kelly Inouye-Perez. And Coach, how do you like how your battery is managing and calling this game?
Just outstanding. We had a great study session last night, just figuring out how we could be more effective today, and I like what we're doing. We had very little swing and miss yesterday, but Taylor and Lefty are throwing with clear intention. I love that she's using all weapons, and she's doing a great job of keeping us right where we need to be.
Coach, this third time through the lineup, what adjustments are you talking to the offense about trying to make on grass?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Coach Fernandez is doing the adjustments when it comes to offense. But I think, we got to start stringing them together. We're finding ways to get people on, but obviously we've got to be able to find a way to put them across the plate.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jordan Woolery up here. 0 for 1 today. And Jordan Woolery looking for her first hit in the Super Regional. Was 5 for 9 over 3 games at the Regional last weekend. Her second look at Sam Gress today. She has the second most RBI in a single season in UCLA history. Numbers have just been up. This will be an easy grab for Ariana Rode. All right, Megan Grant is coming up. Let's get in her head on what she's thinking about when she steps into the box.
So for me, during my bats, the biggest thing for me is my breath. So just working on slowing the game down, keeping my focus to just me and the pitcher. I kind of like to treat my bats as kind of like a one-on-one battle. That way I take out everything from the equation and just keep it simple.
I love that, the breath focus.
And keeping it as simple as can be, even though the weight of the world feels like it's on your shoulders in some of these situations, especially with the numbers that someone like Megan Grant has been able to put up. 25 home runs, 79 ribbies.
And Megan Grant, a player who wasn't happy with her production in her sophomore season. Did a lot of one-on-one meetings with Kelly Inouye-Perez. Helped with the mental mindset. Also went back to work and just tried to take that pressure off, and it paid off. More home runs, more RBI, a better batting average. And look, 335 is not bad.
Well, and it is insane the pressure that athletes put on themselves now more than ever, right? There's so many other factors sometimes than just like getting to play the game, and then when you don't feel like you're playing it at a high level like you expect, you feel it more with all the outside distractions and things that can bring you down.
And Megan Grant's got a multi-hit day. This one rolling to the warning track.
Ooh, that's good defensive play by Lulio. So good.
And a top defense in the nation for South Carolina. That was big.
Well, yet again, another absolute missile by Megan Grant. But Lulio to be able to cut this off. She has the arm. This is a doubles park 4 days. Grant recognizes it, doesn't want to run into an out, which I think is important. That's a second hit only on the day for UCLA.
Yeah, and they're both by Megan Grant. She's now has another multi-hit game, a 5-game hit streak now for Megan Grant. Brings us to Riley Slimp.
Like I said, there has to be just this comfort level with wanting the ball on your hands as a right-handed hitter and being comfortable as a left-handed hitter, being able to go with a pitch, because lefties aren't getting a whole lot in on the hands. They're crowding the plate a little bit. And if you're not comfortable going with someone, a pitcher like Sam Gress will eat you up. But before this inning even kicked off, Coach Lisa Fernandez had everyone all kind of brought in together, was talking shop with them all, especially the second time through the lineup adjustments that she wants them to try to make, in constant communication. Bubba Nichols also works hard with the lefties, communicates well, kind of what the plan of attack is.
The tying run at first base right now for UCLA. Riley Slim, well struck, going back is Quincy Lelio.
So good.
Flipping her glove around.
And Riley Slim walking back to the dugout. You can't hang your hat. That's a good piece and a good defensive play. She squares this ball up too. Clutch defense in center field. Sam Gress loving it, knowing the importance, man. When your team can play defense behind you, it is just a little extra swagger in the circle for sure.
6th in the nation in fielding percentage is the South Carolina defense. Lefty Ramirez, first pitch coming in is Emily Vinson. And so UCLA leaves the tying run on. South Carolina up 1. Well, all the scoring. The 1 run came in the first inning. South Carolina led off the game. Quincy Lelio with a single, and then Lexi Winters, who had the 2-run home run yesterday, right up the middle for the RBI, and that made it South Carolina 1-0. And after 4 innings, that's where we stand right now. UCLA has had runners on, but haven't been able to bring them around.
I think that Taylor Tinsley's really settled in, and I think you could say on the flip side for Sam Gress, being able to throw some big clutch pitches in certain situations. Defense has been money for both teams.
Well, UCLA, 10 runners left on base this weekend. We'll start with Emma Sellers, 8-9-1 due up for South Carolina. Taylor Tinsley has gotten better as this game has gone on. Sellers hit into a double play last time up. And we mentioned that Taylor Tinsley and Alexis Ramirez, they call her lefty, they call their own game. Alexis Ramirez, so important to get her back behind the dish, coming back from a knee injury. And while she spent that time away, learned a lot. And a lot of that came from coaching, not coaching her teammates. Coaching an 11U baseball team with Megan Grant. They won a couple of championships, casual flex. But she told us that, I mean, she learned a lot about meeting players where they're at.
And getting to talk to just the pitchers and understanding the struggles of the little kids and what they're going through, and being able to kind of sit down and talk them through some things. When we exited by talking to those players, after they left, I looked at you and I was like, I would have really loved throwing to her. Like, you just get the vibe of some of those catchers and how special they are behind the plate and how much better they would make you pitch because you're comfortable, right? There's nothing worse than feeling like you have that circle around you and you are out there alone and you got to do it by yourself. When you have someone rock solid behind the plate and the trust in that person, you feel fearless in the circle.
Strikes out Sellers on a full count pitch. 4 Ks for Tinsley.
And this is clutch. This is just heat on the hands. Low rise, good pitch. Just under it.
Emily Vinson now in the 9th spot. Tinsley's retired the last 5 batters she's faced.
And 2 quick strikes. Got you on the in, got you on the away. Now where am I going? And that's when you know that Taylor Tinsley is feeling it. She's able to get ahead. Then she can kind of play around, whether it's with that rise ball. At times, we haven't even really seen her throw her changeup nearly as much as we have in the past. She hasn't needed to because she's been able to own the out on the righties. with that curveball. Throwing hard, sticking with her routine.
And coming out of high school, she was the #1 pitcher in her recruiting class. Now in her junior year, and most importantly, healthy. Battled injuries last season. Back-to-back swing and sit down.
And you could just tell the indecisiveness on the swing, right? She didn't know what the heck's coming. She really didn't. But those are the pitches before that. You take a quick 0-2 and then you set yourself up for failure with the changeup. But this is what it takes in the postseason. You have to perform like this if you're Taylor Tinsley on this day with, knowing that your season's on the line. You have to be able to rise to the occasion, and you're seeing her do that.
Top of the order, Quincy Lelio for the 3rd time. Gets away from Megan Grant. And Lelio aboard for the 2nd time today, led off the game with a single. It'll be an error.
Yeah, and this is a play Megan Grant knows she needs to make and can make. Whether or not she needed to go to a quick backhand to get that. Tried to keep it in front. It's not able to. And passing the bat to a tough Carly Shelton. She sees a lot of pitches. She's scrappy. Had a walk her first at bat. Struck out her last AB. But she's one of the scrappiest in the lineup, in my opinion. In that 2 spot for a reason. Is that triple threat. Can drop the bunt if need be, but good lengthy at bats.
To account to Carly Shelton, who's walked and struck out today. Tinsley struck out the first 2 batters in this inning. Lelio aboard via the error.
That's just an example of a pitch that has that rise ball-ish spin, not belt high. The one coach Ashley Chessie and Woodard is talking about, pitches that we can't swing at are the pitches that are elevated in the zone unless we really barrel something up. But those are all pitches at a 2-0 count. That pitch up in the zone, that would have been 3-0. And then a hitter's count change. Now what? As a hitter, that's what I'd be thinking. Oh, shoot, yeah. Now what? Where's she going to get me? Foul ball.
It hit her.
I thought that hit the knob.
I thought I saw it hit her hand. I think she's definitely feeling it. Oh. Did it hit the knob?
I mean, it looked like it had a good bounce back, but...
UCLA is challenging. The call on the field is hit by pitch. That play will be under further review.
This is the first review that we've had at this Super.
And it makes sense to use one.
Yeah.
When it's that close, why not? That had the only reason why I was thinking more of the knob was just how hard the ball came off.
Yeah. Now, and looking at it again in replay, because we have that luxury.
But then you kind of see the bottom hand.
Yeah.
Regardless, ouch.
Yep. There's the analysis we need.
Yeah.
Well, Pittsburgh is making this call. It's all centralized review.
It looks like it's the bottom.
The bottom of her hand.
Yeah.
That was the original call, was that it was a hit by pitch.
And I think that it's going to stick. Hit by pitch. And you could tell running up the line, she was definitely shaking her hand. And for a second, I was like, well, if it did hit the knob, I mean, you better do a good sell job when you're going down.
Yeah.
just kidding. But that's where my head would go as
You're
I'm
not
going.
kidding.
But
The ruling on the field of hit by pitch has been upheld. That'll be UCLA's first challenge.
Remember, starting in the 6th inning, umpires can initiate review. I think that's a good look at it. I mean, you got to it's worth seeing if it was the right call.
I agree.
Because just like that, via an error and a hit by a pitch, South Carolina has 2 on for Ariana Rhodey, their RBI and home run leader. She has set a single season record at South Carolina with 17 home runs. South Carolina 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position today.
Good lights by Rhodey. Now if I'm Tinsley, I'm kind of in the mindset of like, this is a hat count. I'm thinking maybe the changeup. There it is. There's something too about just having a left-handed catcher when a curveball is a solid pitch of yours, just the frame job that they're able to get with their glove on the outside part of the plate for you. Instead of their glove drifting across the plate, they're able to really get and hold that pitch tight.
And the single season walks record holder just added on another one. Bases are loaded via an error, a hit by a pitch, and a walk. And Lexi Winters, who has an RBI single in this game, is up at the plate. She's a .385 hitter with the bases loaded, and this was yesterday in the first inning for Lexi.
Yeah, 2-run shot in a pitcher's ballpark. I will say that. It is a hard field to go yard in. Doubles for days, but you've got to get under one to get it out of this park.
Remember, Taylor Tinsley struck out the first 2 batters of this inning, but then an error at first base allowed Quincy Lelio to reach. Then Shelton was hit by a pitch. Rhodey walked.
Ooh, good spot. It's a good hold, good spot.
Glad there's a roof over here.
I got you. Dirty. I was going to say change, but you've got to be able to foul it off. That's exactly what Winters is able to do. And now, if I'm Taylor Tinsley, I'm almost like really kind of climbing the ladder here. Whether she goes with that curveball or climbs the ladder, 1-2, up and in.
Winters gets it down. And 1 for South Carolina. Make it 2 off the bat of Lexi Winters. An RBI machine this weekend.
And it's weird that I have like goosebumps all over my arms, but it's simply because when that ball came off the bat, and you hear the crowd like this is what sports is about. And the beauty of getting to host at home. This is why you want that, because it just makes a difference. This up and in pitch, it's not up and in enough. I like the thought process. I want that pitch up and in if I'm Taylor Tinsley. But at a 1-2 count, it's just a little bit too down. And Winter's good at bat. A quick 0-2 she drops to battle back 1-2 to get a pitch on the inner half. She can handle to fire up this crowd. It makes you think of just the little things, right? The defense, it's potentially a different ball game.
Nia McKnight now running at second with Ella Chansey at the plate. My, how this inning changed after Taylor Tinsley struck out the first two batters.
No. Sometimes it's how it goes, right? The defense, the team will make you pay when you're not able to step up and make the good plays, the easy plays. And a team gives you an inch, you take it a mile, and you take advantage. And that's what you saw South Carolina do. The hit by pitch didn't help the cause either. And then the walk to the big base hit by Winters.
So 6 RBI on the weekend. South Carolina 10 runs with 2 outs for the tournament. Taylor Tinsley does get 3 strikeouts, but wow, Lexi Winters with the bases loaded.
Couldn't be more clutch. Winters stepping up big for these Gamecocks. They're up 3.
Well, we know one team that has made it to the Women's College World Series. Texas Tech is there for the very first time. Other Super Regionals playing on today, but how about Nebraska taking game 1 from Tennessee?
Well, and I love, too, the last time they were there was the Edwards twins, the pitcher-catcher duo. And you just look at Nebraska swinging it, man. I mean, I know we talk a lot about Jordy Ball, but that team is firing on all cylinders offensively. They're fun to watch.
And a new pitcher in the circle. Not a surprise that Jory Hurd, who got the start yesterday, is in. They have used Sam Gress and Jory Hurd together all season.
Yeah, she started yesterday's game and set the tone. Definitely a different type of velocity coming out of her hand. She's strong presence in the circle. She can climb that ladder. She has that good pitch on the outside part of the plate to the righties. And does well when she's coming to ball games. Yesterday, different, having to set the tone. Now coming in, a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, all last weekend she entered in relief in the regional and did an outstanding job. She now takes over after Sam Gress only gave up 2 hits, both to Megan Grant.
And if anything were to happen, you can obviously re-enter her, but definitely a change and a different look, a different type of velo, right? Like, when we got 70 miles an hour and you go from someone, Sam Gress, who definitely is a lot spinnier, kind of low to mid 60s, isn't going to blow it by you, but is going to spin it by you. Now you got the heavy heat.
And starts with a strikeout of Kanaya Bragg. Welcome back to the circle. Sunday Night Baseball matchup, the series finale between the Dodgers and the Mets, 7 Eastern, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern with Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. I almost said tonight. It is confirmed that today is Saturday.
Yes.
I'm just in a little softball bubble. And I love it. And Sofia Mujica. She hits in the 8th spot. UCLA's 7, 8, 9 hitters for the tournament, 2 for 12. Mujica. Gone! in a pitcher's park. She goes yard. The true freshman, her 8th home run. Is that the spark the Bruins needed?
Well, Sophia Mujica yesterday, 2 for 3 with a clutch ribby, and then just on time for the velocity. That's really what it comes down to. She doesn't need to swing too hard. When that barrel meets, the velo supplies the power, and it gets out of here.
It's UCLA's 8th home run of the tournament, their first in supers. Oh, and Ellen Chansey tried to get there in foul territory as Caitlin Terry popped it up. I mean, we saw last weekend hitting can be very contagious for this UCLA team. They run ruled all 3 of their games in the regional, first time that they've ever opened the tournament with 3 straight run rolls. But yesterday lost 9-2. This is a must-win game for them and just got their first run.
And I feel like it's a team that feeds off that type of energy. When you hear them in the dugout and they have the props and the balls and they're making the noise and they kind of have that confidence about them, that's when you know that they're like starting to feel good. Maybe we just didn't see that as much yesterday with a quick 5 spot up on the board by South Carolina.
It's a UCLA team that averages almost 7.5 runs per game. Chansey dives forward. And the top of the order, Jessica Clements, who was the star of the regional, if you will, because 7 for 11, 636 last weekend. Her very first NCAA tournament, spent 4 years at Cal Poly, elected to stay there to get her degree. Probably could have transferred earlier, but wanted to finish up that degree, and now is at UCLA doing the John Wooden's Transformative Coaching and Leadership Master's program. She'll stick around the program next year to finish that Master's. Ooh, that hit her.
You hear Coach Fernandez yelling out a way to get on.
First time that she has reached today. She's trying to walk it off on that left leg.
It's not like she's crowding the plate. This is just curveball that really kind of drifts too far, and that hurts. It's her kind of her back knee, just above the kneecap. It's going to be a solid bruise.
And Ashley Chastain Woodard is going to come out to the circle to talk to Jory Hurd.
And I think that this is an important timeout right here. Just we've seen kind of what sometimes when you give up those free passes or the things happen, they can spiral out of control rather quickly. So to be able to go out, kind of talk shop, Savannah Pola, one of the hottest, if not the hottest hitter in this lineup, in the 2 spot.
And of course, South Carolina kept trying to get back to the World Series for the first time since '97. UCLA needs to win here to force their 6th Super Regional Game 3 in program history. If not, their season is over. Savannah Pola, a player whose numbers have just skyrocketed this season. Rolls that to Rhodey.
That's big.
They give up the solo home run, but get out of the inning without any more damage. I heard Jenny say it. I mean, you got to be so smart. We saw last inning when UCLA was in the field, they struck out the first 2 batters, but then Quincy Lelio reached on the error, and South Carolina made them pay. Now, in the last inning, we saw South Carolina's defense clean things up after they allowed a runner via the hit by a pitch. Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop, will lead off. 6, 7, and 8 due up for South Carolina, who took an early lead in the first inning via an RBI single from Lexi Winters, and then a 2 RBI single in the 5th from Winters. There's a joke in there somewhere about Winters being hot. You're welcome. Danielle's not even looking at me right now. It's well deserved. Ball and 2 strikes to Brooke Blankenship, looking to reach for the first time today. Only saw 1 pitch in her last at-bat. That was in the 4th inning. Sent it to the shortstop. Blankenship pokes it up the middle. And South Carolina's got 5 hits today.
Two count. She does a good job of being able to get this pitch. I mean, maybe missed a little bit over the plate, but just a good scrappy at bat. I like the production and just kind of the lower half of the lineup. I know we've had a little bit more production up top, but like just kind of looking at Blankenship stepping up in that situation, knowing the importance of trying to punch back, right? UCLA scoring in the bottom half and making it a 2-run ball game. I mean, my mission when I'm stepping in the box in the top of the 6, how can we get that back? How can we have our pitchers back? And you saw Brooke Blankenship step up with a leadoff hit.
The 3rd time today, the leadoff has reached for South Carolina. Here's Abigail Knight.
Crowd didn't like it.
Really?
At least the umpires know, kind of, maybe that wasn't a strike. Everyone's let me know.
Oh, they can't worry about the crowd.
That's the first time the whole game that I've heard the crowd about a strike or a ball. And you know what that means? It means he's doing a good job behind the plate.
That's Chris Neighbors behind the plate today for us. Oh, 2 to Abigail Knight. Clements running up to grab it. Blankenship holds it first. Well, Emma Sellers steps up as Taylor Tinsley has gone over the 100 pitch mark today. Her first appearance of these Super Regionals got the start today. It was Caitlin Terry that got the start yesterday. Addison Fisher entered in relief. but no chance to make the play. She did a good job of laying out for it to stop that ball, but 2 on for South Carolina.
This is a nice job by Emma Sellers. She kind of hits this ball in the hole. Kanaya Bragg does everything that she can, but too much speed up the line. Importance of laying out for that stops the advancement of Brooke Blankenship from getting to third base, keeping it in front, but timeout by Coach Kelly Inouye Perez. Just come and talk to the battery.
Well, Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Tonight, the Thunder take on the Timberwolves at 8:30 Eastern on ABC, with OKC up 2-0 with series tied at 1 game apiece. Countdown tips off our coverage at 8. And a pinch hitter for South Carolina, Maya Flint. The freshman will make her 18th appearance. She's 6 for 19 on this season, has a couple of doubles, a home run, and 4 RBI.
I think at times there's nothing harder than being the pinch hitter. Your name's called, having to come in late into a game. I mean, trying to stay as present as you can throughout the game, getting nuggets of information. Hey, what's she throwing? Righties, what are you guys seeing? Having a plan.
She's 6 for 15 as a pinch hitter this season.
Good pitch by Taylor Tinsley.
Hits her in the shoulder to load the bases with 1 away for the top of the order in Quincy Lelio, who has reached twice.
Gosh, that's one that you wish you could get back if you're Taylor Tinsley. Just the rise ball up under the hands and it doesn't hit the elbow guard. That probably takes your breath away. See trainer coming out to check on Taylor Tinsley. Not sure what happened. Maybe something when she landed, might have rolled that left ankle, kind of looking down at her foot.
Janice Lee is the athletic trainer for UCLA.
South Carolina.
We're going to let her try to work it off here.
It is, you generate so much power and force through that front leg when you land, whether, it's the resistance of your front side, but when you land with that left foot, your body weight isn't going over your front side, you're resisting that. So there's just so much force created behind the pitch to throw hard, to make the ball move, to make it break. And if you step unsteady, definitely can feel it.
Well, the bases are loaded for the top of the order, Quincy Lelio. By the way, Emily Vinson re-entered to run at first after Maya Flint was hit by a pitch in her pinch hitter role. Quincy Lelio, a transfer from Oklahoma, was a part of 3 national titles and found a new home at South Carolina. Her impact cannot be understated. You've seen what she can do with the bat. You've seen her in center field today, but also just the mentality that she's brought. Her teammates have talked to us about it.
Yeah, the presence, too. I think there's an intimidation factor that she brings. She's got a battle hero, too.
She's 6 for 8 with the bases loaded. She said when she got to South Carolina, Katie Browder, who handles the hitting, had the same philosophies that she had used at Oklahoma, so she was able to fit in right away.
It's a good battle by Lilio. That's a good pitch by Taylor Tinsley. And these are definitely the moments, whether you're in the box or in the circle, you want to try to slow the game down. The heart rate can't get too high. You need to focus on one pitch at a time, executing your job.
Foul ball.
And the hard part about Lilio is she just covers both sides really well. I mean, I think you can catch her off guard on the inner half. She can spray to left center. It's just being smart about what's being thrown, location. And that's one thing that I can say about Taylor Tinsley. She's been put in situations this year throughout Big Ten. She's been pulled out of games when she didn't think she should have been pulled out because she was throwing good. And coach said, no, you're missing out here. In the postseason, this can't happen. Well, these are the moments when you need to be able to execute big pitches under pressure. That's a good spot. Chalk that up as a good spot by me. On the flip side, that's a good take by Lilio. Way too far outside, but a 1-2 count, already 8 pitches.
Oh, it just died off the bat. Run scores! I mean, it almost spun in place.
Well, nothing like the old swing and bunt, huh? Can't do this more than one time. It's perfect.
I don't think you could do that again if you tried.
Sure can't.
Yeah. That is a hit. Scores Blankenship, and the base is still loaded. 1 out for Carly Shelton.
First base left early.
We've been seeing this a lot. Saw this a couple times in that Liberty-Oregon game last night. The 2 challenges used by Liberty were just specifically on the base running.
Second time that UCLA has challenged today.
And at this point, with bases loaded, like there's no need to have to take a steal type lead, right? The rule of thumb is you want to make sure that that ball has left the pitcher's hand before you step off that base.
So you're looking at first base.
She's actually late.
Yeah.
So ball released, and now she's left the base.
Yeah. So she's good.
The ruling on the field has been upheld. The runner did not leave early. That will be UCLA's second challenge.
So they have no more. You get 2 per game.
But to make sure that the communication is there with the base runners, knowing it makes no sense to have to cheat a lead at this point, right? Like this game is still tight. It's being smart with the base running across the board. I feel like we've seen this last year coming into this year, and at times how much that can alter a game if it's an out, if you're not smart on the base pass.
I like that you can't challenge it on a home run.
Me too.
Yeah.
We saw some home runs get taken off the board last year.
What a buzzkill.
Such a buzzkill. Let her have it.
Carly Shelton hitting .400 with the bases loaded. Hopper to Pola, going home. Got her. Oh, the runner at first thought that she was out, went back to the dugout, so they tag first base, and they get 2. She would have been safe on the fielder's choice because Pola went home.
The ruling on the field is that the runner abandoned first base, went to the dugout. She's out.
And you just talked about some base running miscues.
I don't disagree that you don't vacate the field until you 100% know, but I also think there needs to be communication from the first base coach and him yelling at her to let her know.
We step aside, South Carolina up 4-1. It's a really interesting inning that we just witnessed. The throw went home, but the runner left first base, the batter runner did, and just went into the dugout, so it becomes 2 outs.
Well, and there's no communication that Shelton is getting at all. I put a little bit on Jody Davison, the first base coach. Communicate, let her know what's going on. Was it out at home? Was it not? Like, that's your job as the first base coach, to communicate. Yeah, the softball IQ, you shouldn't exit the bag until you know, but you also got a teammate there to kind of help navigate you and what's next. So I think that he needed to be able to say something to her.
Well, that would have kept bases loaded. And now Jordan Woolery up for UCLA.
And you can't help but feel right now with just the double play to end that last inning, and with Jordan Woolery and Megan Grant coming up.
Lilio grabs it. Back to the studio with Matt. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Super Regional Saturday, sending teams to the Women's College World Series, and South Carolina 1 win away from going back to the World Series for the first time since 1997. It's a must-win game for UCLA. Megan Grant has 2 of the 3 hits for the Bruins today. The other hit was a Sofia Mujica solo home run in the 5th. First time, though, that Grant has seen Hurd today.
Just straight cheddar. Dirty, hard to soft. Oh, that's a money pitch. Good location, good height. I think it's obviously a little bit too down. That hasn't been called all day, but
Brody did a nice job of regrouping and making that play. 2 away. It's the first time that Megan Grant has not reached this afternoon.
and this is clutch by Rhodey. She just smothers it. She keeps it in front because it got a couple different hops. The importance of getting those 2 hitters out. Jordan Woolery, Megan Grant, yet again to lead off an inning, getting those two. Just based on their numbers and the intimidation factor that they bring, they've been kept rather quiet. I know Megan Grant has had 2 base hits.
Jordan Woolery has not had a hit this weekend. This is Riley Slimp at the plate. Slim finds the grass. She's got her second hit of supers, the first one today. A hit now in 11 of her last 13 games. Can the Bruins get the 2-out rally going? Alexis Ramirez walked in the second inning. UCLA today 0 for 6 with runners. Lexi Winters walking out to the circle to talk to Jory Hurd and the infield.
I feel like Winters is just so key behind the plate to be able to pick up and recognize things with pitchers when the moment seems big and you have to kind of calm it down and slow it down for her to go out and do that. I think the key reminder over anything is, hey, we got 2 down. Let's battle back. No, they play great defense, but sometimes you forget, even as a pitcher, that we got 2 down, and that gives you a little extra life. Like, oh, okay, yep, 2, let's go.
And then Hurd fires in the strike. And both Jory Hurd and Sam Gress talked to us about how much Lexi Winters calms them down and how key she is. I mean, when we said her name, both pitchers' faces lit up.
I know. Just because you know the importance of that and how much better you pitch when you just have that connection.
Abigail Knight wants it. Little pep talk paid off. South Carolina up 4-1. Matt, thank you. South Carolina trying to get back to the World Series for the first time since 1997. They're 1 win away. It's time now for our Capital One rewarding performance. Lexi Winters has 3 RBI today.
She has been money this whole Super Regional. 7 RBIs. I just love how this team fights with 2 outs. I also think that, to me, is just so fun and makes it challenging as a pitcher, right?
She will be up second in this inning. Ariana Rhodey will lead off. Remember today, South Carolina, the visitor. So UCLA will get to bat, of course, in the bottom of the inning. Their season on the line at the moment. They have never been swept in a Super Regional. And if you're the Bruins, you want a quick inning here and then get those bats back up.
Momentum is a huge factor. So for Tinsley to go out and keep it what the score is. They definitely have made her work, but on the flip side, I feel like at times she's been able to step up and make some big pitches, but 120 pitches to start off. Going into the 7th inning here.
South Carolina yesterday got its first ever Supers win. Its second win all-time against UCLA, the first since 2002. A team that was picked to finish last in the SEC. Creeping up on a Women's College World Series appearance. Rhodey skies it. Jordan Woolery calls. One away. How do you handle Lexi Winters now? You've seen what she's done all weekend.
Hit good spots. I mean, it's definitely not a situation where you feel the need to have to put her on, but you do respect the fact that she's swinging it well. It just comes down to being able to hit good location, good spots. And if she gets you for a single, you tip your cap because she is cruising. But you don't shy away unless it's a one-run ball game and the tying run is at third base. You go right at her and you focus on location.
Right back at Tinsley. I mean, fortunately, she had her glove up. I think it did come back and just hit her glove, thank goodness. And you see a smile on her face now. That's a great sign with Lisa Fernandez out there.
It's scary.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And it takes kind of your breath away for a second, especially your mom and dad watching. But I mean, the face mask, key, right?
Yeah.
To at least feel safe in the sense of that piece with the bats and the technology and how quick it comes off. This is a changeup, and it's right back at her.
Oh, and her parents watching on. Again, family and friends from about 2 hours away. We got a runner at first. Chloe Lackey will come on to run for Lexi Winters as Taylor Tinsley looks to be good to go in the circle. Hey, just take a deep breath. I mean, whew.
Yeah.
Ramirez going after the runner at first. She's safe. Three balls to Ella Chansey, who's looking to reach for the first time in this super. Chansey, one of those 6 players that came over with Ashley Chastain Woodard from Charlotte. She's going to stick around next year and be a GA.
Good spot. Working it back.
Tinsley coming back to get that K, her 7th today.
I love to see that for her, trying to get a little bit of energy up here for her team too. But drops 3-0, works it back, spins that curveball by you on the outside part of the plate. It's a great job.
2 down, runner on first for Brooke Blankenship. That hits Blankenship.
And that's the 4th hit by pitch of this game for Taylor Tinsley, right? When you heard Jenny Ritter say on the studio, like, just the free passes and how much they hurt you, they do. And if a team makes you pay for them.
Abigail Knight with 2 on, 2 out. And we've seen how South Carolina can cook with 2 outs.
Well done.
In the glove of a running Riley Slimp. And UCLA has 3 outs to keep their season alive. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Bruins. Before the season, the outside world said South Carolina can't. And the Gamecocks said, watch us. 3 outs away from the Women's College World Series. Haven't been there since 1997. History this season, started 20-0, won their first ever Supers game yesterday, trying to get back to Oklahoma City. For UCLA, they need to catch up here to force their 6th game 3 of Supers. And they're going to start with a pinch hitter in the 7th spot, Taylor Stevens, who we saw play in the DP role some in the regional, has battled injury this year. Just her 11th appearance, was 1 for 4 in the regional.
And that's what you want to do if you're Jory Hurd, especially with a pinch hitter who's just been on the bench. Go right at her.
I'll say she did not go.
And this was close to hitting her.
How about that for Stevens? Hung in there, gets the lead-off walk.
Toughest 3 outs All right here, if you're South Carolina, because UCLA is going to make you work, you're also going to feel the pressure of what it feels like here in the last inning, knowing that if you win, what's ahead, but also how hard it is to get these last 3 outs. It's being able to understand how to control your heart rate a little bit. Like, you could tell she's amped. She got the first strike, and then it's like no pitch was close after that. She almost hit her, and then ball's way up in the zone. So rechecking yourself. Listen, this is going to be a potential quick for me where I got Grandma in the pen. And we know that we heard Coach Chastain Woodard bring it up that they could bring her back in with them being the away team. It was something she talked about before the game. Not to say that Jory Hurd can't get out of it, but she has been your go-to girl, so know you at least have her in your back pocket.
Talking about Sam Gress.
I'm talking about Sam Gress.
Sophia Mujica responsible for the only run in this game for the Bruins, a solo shot in the 5th. First pitch strike.
Mujica she's been so good in this super regional. Had Ribby yesterday, 2 for 3. Had a home run in this game. That one solo shot up on the board.
She did go. Hurd ahead 0-2.
A little bit of wiggle up, can't lay off. Good hard velo. Now I go with something away. I go with that curve. I try to get the big swing and miss on something away.
This was in the 5th inning. Bye.
Well, look at the location, right? It's over the heart of the plate. She does not miss. That's what you have to be able to do. And I don't know if that's in the back of Jory Hurd's mind, but if you go out, you got to go out. Spin that curveball. Dirty. Her eyes ball for days. You can just see her get underneath it and spin that pitch up. Drops barrel, no chance.
One on, one out for Caitlin Terry. Leadoff reached via the walk. Caitlin Terry rolls it up the middle, and it's rolling all the way to the wall. Getting the go-ahead. Stevens across. Caitlin Terry hadn't had a hit this weekend.
She goes and gets this pitch. It's just an absolute laser, but it's the shift of the defense. You look at where Lilio is. She's shifted all the way to the left, which just is a clear gap to the wall where she's able to leg out that triple. She's speedy. She gets around the base pass. So clutch. And it comes down to the miss of the location, right? Like where the defensive shift is. If you hit your spot in regards to where you're supposed to hit the pitch, execute the spot.
Now Jessica Clements, the tying run at the plate. Back to the top of the order for UCLA with just one out. Did not go. Caitlin Terry standing at third after the RBI triple. But UCLA doesn't get that run if Taylor Stevens doesn't have the pinch hit walk to start this inning.
Oh my gosh, that's a good pitch.
1 out away.
It's just a pitch that she's thinking it's going to be something else, and that is just straight heat under the hands.
So it's up to Savannah Pola, their leading hitter. Sends a run home. UCLA within 1, the tying run at first. And now you hit the Bruin Bombers. Jordan Woolery, who, while she has 82 RBI on the season, a second most in a single season in UCLA history, does not have a hit this weekend. And we're going to see a pitching change. The winning run is at the plate, and it's Jordan Woolery, and South Carolina is going to go back to their veteran, Sam Gress. They are 1 out away from the Women's College World Series. South Carolina is an out away from the Women's College World Series for the first time since 1997, but UCLA has the winning run at the plate. Sam Gress is back in the circle. She got the start today. Their veteran, their 6th-year captain.
I feel like I needed to take a breath there. This is awesome. It really is. This is what postseason softball is all about. One of the best hitters. UCLA's team has struggled in this super regional, bringing in the 6th-year, needing out. Whoa.
And Jordan Woolery, 0 for 6 on the weekend. She has only seen 5 pitches today in her 3 at-bats. Pola is at first, thanks to an RBI single. Jordan Woolery.
One win away from it. They force a game 3 off of Jordan Woolery. Their hopes of OKC alive. She was 0 for 6. And now 1 win away from another trip to the Women's College World Series. Wow. Incredible. All she needed was 1 pitch. Just didn't have any wiggle. She's able to get it out of one of the toughest ballparks for hitters at just the perfect moment for Woolery. She knew it. Wow.
What a season she has had. And to finish like this, Game 2, South Carolina was 1 out away from Oklahoma City, and UCLA says, we're not done, we're playing Game 3.
Well, we shall see. Game 3. Gosh, UCLA. Wow. Incredible.
The Bruins are dangerous, and we will have a Game 3 tomorrow. UCLA comes back to win it and force a Game 3. Jordan Woolery goes yard with the season on the line, and the Bruins are not done. UCLA wins Game 2, 5-4. Game 3 tomorrow here in Columbia.